With Dolby Atmos, 7.1 surround sound, 460 watt of peak power, and a smart app to control all of it, the Ultimea Poseidon D80 Boom offers some great performance for the price, so hit subscribe now and we'll get right into it. So full disclosure before we get started though, the video is sponsored by Ultimea and they've sent me the Poseidon D80 Boom to showcase to you guys. So this is the system here and it consists of 7 speakers and a sub, making it a 7.1 system. The main soundbar unit has 3 2.25-inch drivers, and then we've got 4 surround speakers with 2.25-inch drivers, and then finally we've got a sub with a 6.5-inch driver. If we take a look inside the packaging, we first get a box which contains the instruction manuals and documentations. In the next box, we've got an optical cable, an HDMI cable, 4 speaker cables for the surround speakers, as well as a plug for the sub. Next, we've got the remote control, 6 wall brackets if you want to mount some or all of the speakers to the wall. And we've also got some screws and plugs to help you do that. We've also got the power cable for the main unit. Next up, we've got the main front center speaker, followed by the subwoofer and the surround speakers. And here are all of the speakers that make up the 7.1 surround system, as the center speaker has 3 separate speakers inside. Now setup is nice and easy, apart from with my setup and having a floating unit for the TV, which means I have to completely take that off the wall to wire everything up neatly. But you just plug in the main speaker and then you attach the 2 front speakers to that. Then you can go ahead and plug in the rear sub at the back of the room, plug the rear surround speakers into that, and you're good to go as the sub and the main soundbar connection is wireless. So I've got the main speakers in the center with the 2 speakers either side of my floating unit. Then I've placed the sub to the side of the sofa with the rear speakers wall mounted at ear level either side of the sofa. And I'm also using an optical out for my setup as I already had that cable wired through, but really you should choose eOut if your TV supports it. Now the first thing I always recommend doing is going into your TV sound settings, make sure that number 1, you've got the right output set, and then number 2, you've got Atmos enabled. And then I just open a preview video to test all of the speakers and make sure they're all working as they should, which as expected, it all did. Now I previously just had a single soundbar in the center, and the improvement with this system was immediate. I get more bass coming through from behind, and the additional rear speakers really help add clarity to different sounds and voices. Now the speakers sound great with clean mids, crisp highs, and some nice deep bass, and it just makes my watching experience much more enjoyable for movies, TV shows, and even gaming. Now I turn the speakers up and we still have incredible sound without distortion at the high volumes, and they go much louder than I'd ever need them to go.
Give us the choice in the Philippines.
We don't ask, we take. And when someone... Do you reckon they're hiding?
No, you're coming with us.
Oh, it's gonna be okay, I promise.
Now of course you can fully customize the sound to your liking, and it's made really simple with the remote control, and I like how quickly you can change things like the bass, mids and treble, as well as the actual surround. And you also have the option of using the phone app, which has a lot more customizations like custom equalizers. Now if we start with the remote, you can see we've got all of the input sources at the top, which is great if you're using multiple, but as I said, I'm using the optical cable, so I just keep it in this mode all the time, and the only time I change is if I want to switch to Bluetooth and play some music from my phone. Now we've also got volume up and down, as well as play, pause, next and previous for controlling your music, as well as a mute button and the LED dimmer for the indication light on the front of the main speaker. Now with the sound adjustments, it makes it really quick to adjust. For instance, if I'm watching a film and there's maybe a little bit too much bass, or maybe not enough, I can quickly adjust the bass to MX, and of course it's exactly the same for the treble and mid as well. But to be honest, I've just set this up to my preference during my first use, and I haven't needed to make any adjustments since. Now we've also got all of the presets below that you can quickly change between, and as you can see, we've got movie, music, voice, sport, game and night mode. And underneath that, we've got the surround and prompt tone, and these just let you increase or decrease them. And it was fine for me by default, but I actually increased the surround by just a couple of steps, as I personally just wanted a little bit more sound from the rear. Now if I open up the app, you can see I get a picture of all of the speakers with a volume control, which I can easily swipe to change the volume. And then we've also got the option to turn on or off, as well as selecting a source. Now under EQ, you can see we've got all of the equalizer presets that we saw on the remote control, but in here we've also got the ability to add a custom EQ, which is great for those of you that want to really fine tune it to your preference. And as you can see, it's a simple 10-band equalizer that's also labeled between the bass, mid-range and treble for those that don't have much experience adjusting their own EQ. And the great thing is that you can also create multiple presets if you wanted different ones for maybe movies, TV shows, sports, etc. Now we've also got a style option in here as well, which I think is a great idea for those of you that don't want to set an EQ, and you can simply move this dot around to find where you think it sounds best. Now we've also got settings in the app where you can customize the name or look at the user guide as well as all the information about the system, and there's also some more settings you can change here as well. You can choose the volume of the prompt sounds that come from the main speaker. You can adjust the time of no use until it goes into standby, and I actually increased this from 15 to 30 minutes. You can also control the auto off time as well as the display brightness, and also upgrade the firmware to ensure everything is up to date. But overall, I've been really happy with the Ultimea Poseidon D80 Boom, and it's a big improvement from my previous sound setup, and it just makes everything a lot more enjoyable. Now one of the big positives for me is that it massively improves the sound of your home system, and it's also really easy to set up, so we don't have to worry about things like amps and speaker wiring, and it's just a simple plug and play solution. Now for those of you that want to check out and improve your own home setups, of course I've placed a link down in the description below, and it's currently £223 for the UK and $299 for the USA, which I think is a very good price for the sound quality and features it delivers. And as I said, you don't have to worry about any separate amps or wiring or anything, and the front and rear speakers connect wirelessly to each other, and this means that there's a lot less wiring to worry about, so the wires can easily be hidden. Now hopefully I've covered everything for you guys in today's video, but of course if there's anything I've missed or you've got any questions at all, then just ask them in the comments and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. But thanks for watching the video, and don't forget to subscribe to stay up to date with the latest tech.